Survival games have become some of the most played games on the market today, with games such as DayZ and Ark Survival Evolved gaining immense popularity. In this video, we'll take a look at the top 10 upcoming survival games. Let's get right into this. Number 10, Goliath. The premise of Goliath is pretty simple. After going through a rift, you become stranded in an unknown world. You have to survive against hordes of enemies ranging from small to large by crafting your own robotic constructs, weapons, and equipment. The game features a day and night cycle, dynamic weather, and other factors that will cause you to react to the world differently. While most survival games are focused on, well, survival, Goliath puts a lot of emphasis on its combat elements to keep the tension in the world high. Goliath is expected to release in 2016. Number 9, Rokh. Rokh is a survival adventure game set on Mars. The game is futuristic and deeply rooted in scientific and realistic anticipation, where players will have to work together to overcome the variety of obstacles they'll face in Mars. When you start the game, you need to find ways to survive by exploring Mars, looking for things like oxygen, food, water, and other life. Mars is a great setting for a video game, and based on the gameplay that we've seen so far, the developers look to be crafting a beautiful world. Rokh is expected to be released in September. Number 8, Astroneer. The sudden development of technology for rapid space travel in Astroneer enables fast exploration to the stars. People have signed up to launch themselves into the stars to seek fortune in the far reaches of galaxy. These people are known as the Astroneers. You need to find a way to dig out life on one of the variety of different worlds. In the game, you'll build your own base, discover mysteries, and much more. Artistically, Astroneer has a lot of promise, and hopefully the game delivers when it releases this year. Number 7, The Black Death. The Black Death is a dark survival multiplayer game set in the medieval era. The world has been ravaged by a plague. In the game, you pick a class and are tasked to survive in one of the darkest times in history. The developers are touting the game to include dozens of unique locations filled with detail. The Black Death is interesting because we don't see a lot of survival games in this type of time period. Currently, the game still looks a bit rough around the edges, but by the time of the release, hopefully the Black Death is something worthy of our money.
Looting is a large part of the Black Death. Untold riches can be found.
Number 6, Planet Nomads. Planet Nomads is a sci-fi sandbox survival game with procedurally generated planets. The player is abandoned and you must build useful items to have a slim chance of staying alive as you uncover the mysteries of the planets. You're at wit's end, and your best shot at escaping this mess is building a spaceship. The world will be filled with animals, all with different behavior and reactions to the player. This sci-fi setting is one with a lot of potential, and judging by the gameplay we've seen, Planet Nomads is coming along very nicely. Planet Nomads doesn't have an exact release date yet, but expect to get it early 2017. Number 5, Worlds Adrift. 1,000 years prior, a cataclysmic event shattered the world into floating islands scattered across an endless skyline. Civilizations fell apart and societies collapsed. From the debris rose a band of nomads who fly skyships together from island to island, scavenging for resources to keep the world moving. Throughout the game, you'll build greater and greater skyships that can carry you further past the wind walls, devastating lightning storms, all to discover the mysteries of an earlier era. You can play alone or with a group of friends. This is a game I highly recommend you keep your eye on. The developers have been putting out a lot of gameplay and seem very passionate about this project. Worlds Adrift is expected to release this year. Number 4, Fortnite. Being developed by one of the most well-known studios in Epic Games, they describe Fortnite as a living action building game. You and your friends lead a group of heroes to reclaim and rebuild a homeland that has been left ravaged by a mysterious darkness known as the Storm. You'll have to build forts and find or build weapons and traps to protect your towns. The game has a very stylistic and bubbly watercolor look, similar to something like Team Fortress. The gameplay at times can get absolutely chaotic, and judging by what we've seen, it looks like a blast to play. Fortnite is expected to release later this year. Number 3, Adrift. Adrift is a single-player survival game with a bigger focus on its story. It's an immersive first-person game that tells the story of an astronaut at the brink of life or death. He's floating amongst the wreckage of a destroyed space station with no memory of the incident and a damaged EVA suit leaking oxygen. You're the only survivor on the ship and you must find and determine the cause of the event. You'll have to fight to stay alive and explore the wreckage for resources and rebuild your ship to return home. Adrift releases on March 28th on PC and later on consoles. Number 2, Escape from Tarkov. Escape from Tarkov is a hardcore and realistic online first-person action RPG survival hybrid. The cool thing about this game is that it's also very story-driven. With each passing day, the world grows more and more complicated. Incessant warfare has sparked massive panic, local population has fled the city, but those who stayed are looking to improve their fortunes at the expense of others. You get to experience living as one of the mercenaries who survived the initial stage of the Tarkov conflict. The conditions are bleak and everyone has to make their own choices on what to do and how to get out of this chaos-ridden world. There's many different areas to explore with citizen blocks, chemical plant areas, military base, a private living zone, and so much more. The game looks very interesting and I'm a sucker for these dark and chaotic-like worlds. Escape from Tarkov is expected to release later this year. Number 1, No Man's Sky. This is a game that's been anticipated by gamers for a very long time. Being developed by the small team at Hello Games, No Man's Sky is taking the open world game formula and amplifying it by 100 by becoming an open universe game. There are procedurally generated planets creating a near endless amount of content. You play as a planetary explorer equipped with a spacesuit, a jetpack, a multi-tool that is used to scan, mine, and collect resources as well as to attack or defend from the creatures on the planet. The goal of the game is to get to the center of the galaxy. You'll need to build better spacecrafts and craft better gear to help you survive. It's been a long time coming for No Man's Sky, but we finally have a release date of June 21st.
So beacons are where you... Beacons are where you upload discoveries.
That wraps up our countdown of the top 10 upcoming survival games. What do you think? Are you going to be picking any of these games up? Let us know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching and goodbye.